This video outlines the process of finishing exterior furniture with a water-based 2K coating system. The proposed system provides the ultimate protection for exterior furniture which are exposed to harsh and extreme weather conditions. Typical substrates. Hardwoods. Equipment required: 80, 120, 180 and 320 grit sandpaper, a 2-inch brush, a water-based wood putty, Sayerlack AM0549 wood stain, Sayerlack AZL 3630 top coat, Sayerlack AH1550 hardener. Before starting the coating process, the moisture content should be checked with a moisture meter and it should be below 15%. Make sure the wood is seasoned well. Surface preparation. Sanding. A correct sanding process will remove visible defects and surface contaminants, ensuring the wood surface is level. As the first step, the wooden surface needs to be sanded with an 80 grit level sandpaper. The purpose of the first sanding stage is to use a coarse grit sandpaper with an 80 grit level to remove major surface imperfections such as milling marks, and to level the wood. Frequently check the sandpaper for any signs of clogging and replace as needed. Wipe off dust particles using a brush. Use incremental sandpapers by hand up to 120 grit to make surface less coarser. This will remove machinery marks, planers, and make the wood smoother. Always follow the direction of the wood grains, ensuring you do not sand across the wood grain. Surface preparation. Wood putty. The wood needs to be checked for imperfections such as cracks and nail holes. Take the required quantity of wood putty and fill in the identified areas with imperfections by using a water-based wood putty. Allow putty to dry for at least 45 minutes. Longer drying times might be required for larger cavities. After the wood putty is dried, sand with 180 grit sandpaper over areas with dried wood putty. Coating process. Stain, first coat. Once the surface preparation is completed, the first coating will be the stain application. Apply one layer of Sayerlack AM0549 Hydro Plus wood stain for exteriors. By using a stain or pigment color, we give the wooden surface a new and harmonized color and enhance the natural grain of the wood with variations in the color shades based on the nature of the wood. Use a clean, flat and wide spatula to ensure thorough mixing. This is extremely important to ensure contents do not settle at the bottom of the canister. Collect the required amount into a beaker or container. Apply the stain by brush to average around 50 grams per square meter. It is important to make sure that the brush application is of an even thickness and applied in one directive motion. After the stain application, the surface needs to be dried between 1 to 4 hours. All drying times outlined in this procedure are dependent on weather conditions and are recommendations only. After drying, sand the surface lightly with 320 grit sandpaper. Coating process. Stain, second coat. Apply another coat of Sayerlack Hydro Plus wood stain for exteriors and ensure to average around 50 grams per square meter. Dry between 1 to 4 hours. All drying times outlined in this procedure are dependent on weather conditions and are recommendations only. After drying, sand the surface lightly with 320 grit sandpaper. Wipe off dust particles using a brush. Coating process. Top coat. Third coat. First we take Sayerlack AZL 3630 Clear 2-pack waterborne top coat for exteriors. Use a clean, flat and wide spatula to ensure thorough mixing. This is extremely important to ensure contents do not settle at the bottom of the canister. Collect the required amount into a beaker or container. In addition to protection from exterior elements, wooden poolside furniture items such as sunbeds, restaurant tables, and chairs require additional resistance to chemicals such as alcohol, sunscreen and cleaning detergents, and scratch resistance for tabletops. These properties can be gained by using this special, high-performance Sayerlack 2-pack acrylic topcoat on a regular Sayerlack water-based stain. Place the mixing cup on the scale and reset to 0. Take 100 grams of Sayerlack Clear 2-pack waterborne topcoat for exteriors. We then need to mix it with Sayerlack AH 1550 hardener. Collect the required amount into a beaker or container. Reset the scale to 0. Add 15 grams of Sayerlack hardener into the mixture. Reset the scale to 0. We then add 20 grams of water into the mixture. Mix all parts together well until the liquid is uniform in appearance. Apply by brush to average around 120 grams per square meter. Dry between 1 to 4 hours. All drying times outlined in this procedure are dependent on weather conditions and are recommendations only. After drying, sand the surface lightly with 320 grit sandpaper. Wipe off dust particles using a brush. Coating process. Top coat. Final coat. Follow the previous blending process from the third coat and create an identical mixture for the top coat final coating application. Apply by brush to average around 120 grams per square meter. Dry for at least 16 hours, protected from rain and other water sources. All drying times outlined in this procedure are dependent on weather conditions and are recommendations only. After completing the final coating process, the wood surface will be as follows. For more details, please contact your closest Jat Holdings distributor partner or write to us on info@jatholdings.com.